Right, Arsenal have the next prodigy that's under 16 years old and Max Dowman, only 15, looks absolutely chicken oriental on the pitch. And our Newcastle, Donald Duck. Isak ain't coming back. Is he? He's not coming back. But they both played each other in a pre-season club friendly. And player of the match on SofaScore was young Max Dowman, who only had a 30-minute cameo, winning a penalty, but looking not out of place at all. I want to speak a bit about that. I also want to speak about Newcastle and Isak. But first of all, I want to thank you, mate. You watching. We've done it. We've got over 19,000 subscribers. We hit over it last night, over 19,000. So the road to 20k very much is on. I'm very grateful to those of you who support the content that I upload daily here. So if you think you might dig it, then please do like and subscribe to Football Yannick, where I speak all things football, offer my thoughts and opinions on it. And yeah, everyone's welcome, man. So thank you for liking and thank you for subscribing. Right. Where should we start? I want to speak a little. We will talk about Newcastle a bit more generally and then moving forwards, going into into the next season undercooked, because Eddie Howe has been saying all kinds of things. He doesn't sound like the happiest of boys, I must say. It really doesn't. So we'll get into that a little bit as well. But first, I do want to speak about Max Dowman. Now, he is only 15 years old. Dowman, I should say. No, there's no extra in there. Which is mental. Yeah. So he came on, played 30 minutes. He is 100% passes, but 4 passes. So 4 out of 4. 16 touches, 1 cross, which was accurate. He got a couple of shots on target. 2 out of 3 dribble attempts completed. But I think the most notable out of this is this 15-year-old child was paying up. I know, yes, it was a pre-season friendly in hot climates, hot conditions. But a 15-year-old, let's be real, child, coming up against not just any Premier League team, but the thugs of Eddie Howe's Newcastle United, which are big boys, and they'll slam into you. He won 6 out of 8 ground duels. Yeah, man. Which is really impressive. That is really impressive. The vast majority of his ground duels he won against fully sized big bully men. Everyone's talking about him. I did want to give him his flowers personally because I'm a Chelsea fan. I remember listening to John Terry talk about football, and he watches a lot of academy football. He watched a development game, I suppose, with the Arsenal players, and he said, he was the best player on the pitch, and there was a lot of good young players on the pitch. And, he looks mustard. I guess at 15, people need to be careful with keeping him grounded, not applying too much pressure on the young man. We'll see if, I can't imagine is he going to be, he might be used in the odd cup game off the bench, but he's 15. He is a child, dude. He isn't I don't know, but probably not. They've got young players, of course, and Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri, who both featured in this game, which ultimately was a 3-2 win to Arsenal. One moment. Sorry, I had to take a phone call. Yeah, so it was a 3-2, was it football something festival pre-season game. Odegaard scored what would be the winner, a penalty won by the aforementioned Dowman. There was an OG by Murphy. There were Mikel Merino scored a goal. He loves a goal. A new signing and probably only good vibes moment of at the moment is Anthony Elanga scoring. Jacob Murphy getting a goal as well too. So yeah, Arsenal move. Of course, Victor Gyökeres is over the line now. We've done that to death. He joins a pretty good side in Arsenal that will be hoping somehow they can finally win the league. But unfortunately for them, and unfortunately for everyone else in the Premier League right now, it might just be going to the super team that is the Scousers, Liverpool. Which brings me on to the next part of this video, the situation with Newcastle United. Now, Eddie Howe, understandably, is frustrated. he wants reinforcements. Last time they qualified for the Champions League, they were not prepared. And even though they had a few good games in the Champions League, I think they slapped PSG up, and they generally looked pretty good there, and it was amazing feeling and vibes for the fans, and it was a great experience to be back at the biggest stage that they deservedly qualified for, but they were severely underprepared, or under-equipped, should I say, to navigate it, and Eddie Howe knows that, because obviously they didn't qualify for the next Champions League because they couldn't balance the competitions well. There was like fatigue and burnout, yada, yada, yada. Which would put Eddie Howe in the position now where he's like, okay, so we need to prepare for this better. We need new players, and they're not getting them. And he's spoken about this. And of course, there's the Isak saga. He was asked, is there any chance Isak's going to join you on pre-season? Eddie Howe said a straight up no. So that is bad. That is really bad. He's trying to force the move by all accounts. It would have to be a lot of money. And I think Liverpool have it. I've listened to people who know lots more about football finance than I, and they've sort of broken down how they can get the deal done. And especially now Luis Diaz is being linked with Bayern Munich, a deal worth 75 million euros. They'll make a big handsome profit on him. And there was even speculation that they wouldn't have even need to make that sale to still make a record signing in Alexander Isak and still be PSR compliant, which feels mental, but the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are there, I don't know how it works. Maybe they've still got the Coutinho money. But they will have to spend a record fee. It would be at least, so they've just broken the transfer record with £116 million for Wirtz, which is £1 million more than Caicedo to Chelsea. We know Liverpool have been prepared to spend big money on players for a while, because even under Klopp, they had a £111 million fee agreed for the aforementioned Caicedo, which would have been a record, and Chelsea ended up paying a few more. And then, of course, they've broken the record with Wirtz, and they're prepared to do it again for Alexander Isak. It wouldn't be like another million up, so it wouldn't be 117. I think it would be 120 plus. There's reports suggesting it's 150 million, which is 175 million euros. I can't see it being that. Personally, I can't see it being that. All kinds of mega briefings coming up linking Isak to Saudi. I don't think he just wants money. I think he literally just wants to go to Liverpool. So what's going to go on with Newcastle? They are in a massive funk, man, because they wanted Trafford, the goalkeeper. He's gone to Man City. They wanted Liam Delap, £30 million good value striker. He went to Chelsea. They wanted Hugo Ekitike, not because they were selling Isak, but because they needed this backup striker, because Wilson's gone, and they needed to start beefing up the squad for their Champions League campaign. Ekitike went to Liverpool. So not only did they lose their primary forward target, well, the first two primary forward targets to Premier League rivals in Chelsea and Liverpool, their big superstars being ripped away from them in Alexander Isak, and it's mental. Like, what are they going to do? Like, even if they get the money, they will have to say to Liverpool, this can't be a payments thing. This can't be a you give me 30 million now and then 30 million next season. When they break up payments like that, it's got to be all right, it's 130 million pounds. And you give us 80 or 90 now, today, so we can go and buy two players. That's, seemingly what it's got to be. Like, Elanga, scores a goal, comes into the team. He must be thinking, bro, I came here to cook with Isak. I heard Ekitike is coming. Where are all these players? Do you know what I mean? And understandably, Eddie Howe's going to be very, very frustrated, because he's done some excellent work at Newcastle. I'm always waxing lyrical about, how he changed, Joel Linton and, development of certain players and just generally making them a really good Premier League operator and getting into the Champions League. Because remember, they were miles off when he succeeded, what's his face? Oh my God, why can't I remember Potato Face's name? Steve Bruce, obviously. Bless him. Steve Bruce, recently pictured in a bucket hat and Oasis concert. Things you love to see. Yeah, man. So Newcastle rightly are worried. Their fans will be like, what's going on? Are we in trouble here? They need to make some transfers. Really, I mean, for them, if Isak's going to be like, I'm never coming back, I'm not going on tour, I refuse to train, sell me. But can we talk about that? Is that a good look? He's 25, man. Apparently, I was hearing all kinds of stuff like Alan Shearer got on the phone to him to try and convince him to stay. I don't think you can convince him to stay. But what you might be able to do is convince him to stay for 12 months. Like, just play in the Champions League. It's a massive stage. Let everyone watch you shine. You know, help us out. We helped you out to develop. Help us out so we can make a contingency plan so we can bring some people in to replace you. We're not saying stay here forever, become a legend, become Alan Shearer vibes. You don't have to do that, but at least stay for 12 months and we'll get like a gentleman's agreement in place and we'll make us, we'll structure your exit. That's probably what you could hope at most. But it seems like that ship has sailed, bro. That he is genuinely trying to push himself out, which is never a good look. I mean, we saw that with the other Swede striker, Victor Gyökeres, who now is an Arsenal player. I think he watched this game, this friendly game in the stands and, said hello to the players. So this is what's happening. These big money moves, the players are just pushing out. It's tricky, isn't it? I mean, it's not the greatest of looks. I feel like, sadly, as a rival fan, there's an air of inevitability to this. Liverpool have the money. They are feeling themselves in the moment. They're like, yeah, we're the killers, we're the best. Let's just, let's just put our foot on the throat of the Premier League, especially as Pep Guardiola looks like he might be waning a little bit. Not that he's like he's dusted now, do you know what I mean? Or a busted flight. He's still a great manager, but it does feel like peak Guardiola is gone. I don't think even Man City fans would probably admit that. I imagine a lot of them, and that's not to say they can't win the Premier League, but they might not Centurions it. Do you know what I mean? That's Pete Guardiola. He's gone. So maybe Liverpool thinking, right, well, now's the time we've just won the league by 10 points. Let's absolutely destroy this thing. Let's go win another Champions League. Let's do it with Slot. Let's buy all the best players. And it's frightening, really is. For me, like I said, if they get Isak, it's just... I mean, the fact how they were double digits clear last season and they won the league only by an additional 10 points because they relaxed towards the end of the season. They could have done it by 16, 17, 18 points, I think, if they were really going for it. And they've just, upgraded the fullbacks. And I do think upgrade because I think Trent, as good as he is, he has flaws as a conventional fullback. But we'll see. Well, Frimpong may be leaving loads of space behind him, but we'll see. But amazing signings in Kirkies and Frimpong. Viert's fascinating signing, but an amazing talent that they're bringing in to, facilitate Salah and for Salah to facilitate him, really. And then if they bring in, Isak to go with Ekitike, it's curtains, man. Winning the title was par, genuinely. Anything else is a failure. That is because of what they've just come from and what they've just added. Incredible. What do you think, though, guys? Leave your comments down in the comment section. Daily ramblings and wafflings from me here on the channel. So thank you for joining. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Let's see if we can get to 20k, man. That'll be wicked. Enjoy the football. See you soon. Peace.